Today's after-school special deals with sex education and contains frank discussions of teenage sexuality. Parents are encouraged to watch and discuss with their children. How do you know you're ready?
I always thought that you would go first.
How do you know he's the one?
If you really love me, you'd want to.
How do you get all the facts?
Why are you asking me this?
What's the answer?
You can't get pregnant the first time, can you?
Tracy Gold in the ABC After-School Special, A Question About Sex, next.
What is it about that question?
Check out Jimmy Mendelbaum.
It's not Jimmy Mendelbaum. Is it?
It sure is. Looks like he's been working out all summer.
Becky doesn't care that he's the smartest guy in our class. She just wants to admire his pecs.
I'm interested in his mind. He just happens to be in a very fine body.
Becky is so hot. You think she's looking at me in your dreams? What do you think, Ron? You think she's looking at me? I don't know. I wasn't looking. He wasn't looking. He doesn't have to look. He already has a girlfriend.
I wish you guys would stop staring. I mean, we've been juniors for over a week. We're supposed to be hip.
Forget hip. I got the junior prom to think about.
School just started and you're worried about the prom?
You've got nothing to worry about. You go out with the class hunk, the senior class hunk. Doesn't mean the rest of us should give up. I mean, it's not fair. You're not fat. You're not ugly. You get good grades. You talk to your mom. Your life is perfect.
It would be if I could decide what to wear tomorrow.
Well, what did the student rep wear last year?
Sports coat and tie.
Well, wear black. I mean, you can't go wrong with black.
What do you think, Allison? I think blue. Blue always makes a good impression.
I think my mother's wearing blue.
Oh, go with that. I mean, the school board's mother-daughter team in matching little outfits. Cute.
Hey, Shauna. It's looking good.
Oh, he is so gorgeous. How do you manage to keep a boyfriend like Ron?
Easy. She puts out.
God! Back me up, for heaven's sake. She doesn't.
I've seen you two together. It's all over you like syrup on a waffle.
She is so hot. You must be doing it all the time. Am I right?
Get a life, Steve, okay?
Is that a yes or a no?
Well, it's like this, see? If I wasn't getting my socks rocked, I don't think I'd admit it.
Something's wrong. What is it? Now listen, you're getting me worried. What is it? I kind of had sex with Michael.
You did?
When? Last weekend.
Why didn't you tell me?
I don't know. I felt weird about it. I mean, I always thought that you would go first. Look, don't tell anybody about it, okay? Because I really don't want everybody asking me questions.
Okay.
It's funny, because I didn't think that I would feel this way. Well, like how? I don't know, like my old self is gone. I can never go back to the way I was. You think I shouldn't have? I don't know. Well, Michael and I have been together for a really long time, and we want to get married when we graduate from college, and we really love each other. How did you know what to do? I didn't. It just sort of happened. It seemed so right at the time, but now I'm not so sure. Why? You can't get pregnant the first time, can you?
This is Charlie Pike with our continuing special report on school board elections. With us, incumbent board member Joanne Kelly. What do you consider to be the major issues in your campaign for re-election?
Well, this year, the real issue is money. If the voters feel that we've spent their tax money wisely, I'll have another term.
You didn't tell me Charlie Pike was gonna be here.
I didn't know he was.
I'm impressed.
Okay. Tell me the truth. Do I look okay?
You look fine. You have to be nervous.
Can't help it. But I just don't want to make a fool of myself at the meeting.
Hey, you'll be great. You always are.
You know, not everybody thinks I'm as great as you think I am.
Yeah, well, not everybody's as smart as me.
Thank you. Bye.
Shauna.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I hear you're the force behind the proposed health clinic at the school.
That's right.
Does that fall into the category of money well spent?
Absolutely. We found that half the students don't have health insurance or a family doctor. This clinic will mean health care for them. Physicals, eye exams, taking care of health problems before they become serious.
I understand you're half of the first mother-daughter coalition on the board.
That's right. I'm proud to say that my daughter Shauna will be attending her first meeting tonight.
So, Miss Kelly, I assume you'll be voting for the clinic.
Well, the student rep doesn't have a vote. I'm just there to give my opinion.
Which she has no problem with, being that we Kelly support each other.
Is there any area where you and your mother might be in conflict?
I can't think of any. Mom and I agree on just about everything.
Well, that's it. No more ice cream for the rest of the campaign.
Like you really have to worry.
The camera puts on 10 pounds. I look like a blimp on the news tonight. Did I make any sense in the interview?
Well, sure. You were very clear, very concise, very calm.
I don't know. I went on and on about the clinic. Did you see Charlie Pike's eyes glaze over? That's always a good sign.
Well, that part was a little boring.
Oh, great.
But the rest of it was good. Mom?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
Well, how likely is it that somebody could get pregnant the first time she sleeps with a guy?
Why are you asking me this? Is this about you and Ron?
No. Mom, I'm not sleeping with Ron.
Are you sure?
Well, yeah, I think I'd know. Well, what if I were?
You're not old enough.
Wait a minute, when is old enough?
Later, much later. And you're a lot older. Not now, okay? We don't want them to start without us.
Now, final item of old business is a school-based health clinic. Is there any further discussion before we vote?
Yes, I'm Bill Dodge. I'm here with Concerned Parents Against Teenage Sex. We want to make sure that there are no birth control services at this clinic.
No, Mr. Dodge, we've decided not to include those services in anticipation of objections just like yours.
Wait a minute. Speaking for the students, I think we could really use a service like that.
Mr. President, we've been through this.
Excuse me, but not all the kids know everything they should, and...
Shauna, please.
Well, maybe we should talk about this. There's a problem with teenage pregnancy in our district, in case nobody's noticed.
There's a problem with teen pregnancy because teens are having sex. If they wouldn't have sex, we wouldn't have any problems.
Dr. Singer, you had experience with school-based clinics. Care to comment?
We've found some evidence that teenagers with access to birth control on the school site become more sexually responsible.
And more sexually active.
No, not at all. Many studies have shown that when teenagers have cold, hard facts about sex and birth control, they're more likely to think before acting. And since the pregnancy rate among teenage girls is 10%.
But you're saying hand on a condom to any student who wants one. Why don't we just turn the gymnasium into a hotel? We can rent rooms to the kids. I'll give them beer and porno magazines while we're at it.
I understand your concern. But the students wouldn't be allowed to use any of the services at the clinic without permission from their parents, in writing.
Look, if information will keep my daughter from becoming pregnant, so she won't even have to face the abortion issue, then I say let the clinic give the kids whatever they need.
But it isn't the school's responsibility. Sex education should be taught at home.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think when it comes to birth control, it's the parents' responsibility. They know when their children are ready for that kind of information. Could we go ahead and vote on the clinic as originally proposed?
I think we should postpone the vote. Let's give the community a chance to express their views.
I wish you hadn't spoken up like that.
Barely got a word in before you cut me off.
You said plenty.
What's the point of having a school clinic if it's not going to offer what the students really need?
The students really need is basic health care. If you throw in birth control, then there won't be a clinic. It's too controversial. End of discussion.
And then she gives this big speech about how it's the parents' job to talk to their kids about sex, after she totally bailed on me when I asked her a simple little question.
Well, that definitely sounds like my mom, not yours.
I mean, I used to be able to ask her anything, but after yesterday, I'll never bring that subject up again.
Well, I don't have to ask. I mean, my folks are always checking to see if I have any questions. No, I don't have any questions. I mean, they've been telling me all that stuff for years.
So you must have been so bored in reproductive health.
Oh, that class was such a joke.
You remember how out of proportion those diagrams were? It looked like your uterus was in your lungs.
You see, they teach the biology, but not what you really need to know. Like how do you know you're ready for sex?
Well, all I know is that I want my first time to be with somebody who knows what he's doing.
Well, I'm holding out for Tom Cruise.
Oh.
I mean it. Why settle for just anybody? How about you, Allison? You and Michael making it?
No. How did we get on this subject anyway?
I wanted to know if a person can get pregnant the first time.
You most certainly can get pregnant the first time.
But you won't get pregnant if you practice the one method of birth control that's absolutely 100% guaranteed effective.
What?
Well, say no. The best birth control is abstinence. And you be careful.
Great, now Miss Josie thinks I'm sleeping around. What is it about that question? Thanks, Ron.
Welcome. So can I pick you girls up later?
No, that's okay. But we don't know what time we'll be done. I'll call you later. Well. We're not the only ones trying to find out how not to get pregnant.
Thanks for coming with me. I didn't even know where to start.
It's not just for you. I'm getting a lot of pressure from Ron. I don't think I can hold him off much longer. They definitely need more books on sex.
Why don't you tell that to the librarian?
I don't think so.
Wait, here's one.
Hold it. This book hasn't been checked out since 1978.
Great. The one book in the library is the one no one wants.
Look, it's just that biology stuff again.
Ooh. What's that? At least we know where they got the pictures for reproductive health. Okay. What are you looking under?
Birth control.
You're kidding.
Wait, here's a place.
Well, this is downtown. This is going to take hours on the bus, Shauna.
Hello? Yeah, what are your hours? Oh, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to have an appointment. They're open late tonight and early Saturday morning.
Okay, well, I have a paper due tomorrow.
Okay, Saturday morning? Shauna Kelly and Allison Streep.
Streep.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Bye. Streep.
want my mom to find out.
Did we have a lot more people doing this last time?
Hard to get volunteers for an off-year election, especially when there's no controversy to stir people up.
Nina thinks she's a failure as my campaign manager if I get elected quietly.
I just want some excitement, that's all. Nobody cares whether the teachers get their new parking lot. Thanks to Shauna, Joanne's got a controversy waiting to happen, and she won't go for it.
And thanks to Shauna, the clinic is no longer a sure thing. She got people upset.
So let's take advantage of that.
I will not, Peggy, I will not use the clinic to get votes.
Or lose them. You mean those wackos from CPACs? I happen to share some of their concerns. Oh, I'm sorry. Just which concerns do you mean?
Well, for one, I don't think that school is an appropriate place for all this sex talk.
Joanne, it's the superintendent.
Let me get this straight. You don't think that school, an institute of learning, is a good place to educate kids about their bodies?
My two boys wouldn't think of talking to their mother about sex, and their father's not around, so I'd be relieved if they could get good information instead of the nonsense they pick up from their buddies.
It's not a good idea, all this emphasis on sex at their age.
Come on, Fran. Wouldn't you have given anything for some straight talk back when your hormones were raging?
I don't want their hormones to rage.
You can't stop them.
It's not a crime to want my children to stay innocent just a little longer.
Well, you better grow up, honey, because your kids are getting ahead of you.
Stuff these.
I'm glad we could answer your questions. Come back anytime.
I hope I'm not too embarrassed to use this.
I know what you mean. Maybe feeling embarrassed means we're just not ready.
How am I supposed to tell Michael he has to wear a condom?
You just say, Michael, if we're gonna do this, you have to wear a condom.
But you don't understand, though. We don't really talk about sex, you know? He's gonna be very shocked if I just say condom. I can hear it now.
You don't mean birth control.
Well, it's not just birth control. I mean, show him those list of diseases. Well, he'll say I don't have to worry about catching anything from him. I'm telling you, he's not gonna want to deal with this.
Well, he's gonna have to.
Yeah. I mean, here I am. I'm doing my part, and I want us both to be safe. I mean, we really did. We took a big chance last time. So it's like this. I'm gonna say, Michael, you're gonna wear this thing or else.
That ought to do it. Oh, come on, Bus.
I promised my mom this wouldn't take long. She thinks I'm at the library. You lied to your mother?
Well, not exactly. I told her I was doing a research project.
Oh.
Anytime. Okay. Bye-bye.
It would be so easy to get some juice into this campaign.
This happens whenever the clinic comes up.
Exactly.
Well, it's exactly what I don't want. More controversy before the vote.
We'd get a lot more publicity.
No. We'll vote on the clinic at the next board meeting, and that'll be the end of it. I won't let this become a campaign issue.
So, Miss Streep, what did we just find out here that we couldn't learn at a school clinic? Nothing. Except what a pain it is to get here.
You know, the school board makes these decisions about our lives. They don't bother to ask us what we think.
Well, you're a student rep. Won't they listen to you?
It's gonna take more than just me.
Who then?
You know, maybe a bunch of us together can convince them. I'm gonna call a meeting at school.
What are you gonna say to Ron tonight?
I haven't a clue.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought I was ready, but I guess I'm not.
Yeah, well, you just don't understand, Shauna. I mean, guys have these needs.
So do girls.
Then I don't understand. I mean, what's stopping you? What? Is that you think I don't love you enough? Is that it? Because I do, Shauna. Really, I do.
I know. But I just want to know what it means before I do it.
I thought we could find out together.
You're the first guy I've ever loved. You should be the first guy I make love with. And not yet. Until I'm sure I won't be sorry tomorrow.
Fine. You know, I don't know what else I can do, Shauna. You know, I've tried everything.
Well, can't we just go on like we are?
Forget it. Just forget it.
Shauna. Hi, honey. What's wrong? Shauna, talk to me.
I can't. Not about this.
So how'd it go with Michael? Oh, well, it didn't. I had to babysit my brothers, and his motorcycle was in the shop again. You're so lucky your boyfriend goes to the same school.
If I still have a boyfriend, he was supposed to be here today.
Hi.
Hey. Hi. All right, thanks for coming. Let's get started. Okay. The school board is going to vote on a health clinic here at the school. And we want to find a way to get them to include birth control services. So I think that if we circulate a petition...
Just stop right there. Shauna, a petition drive is so boring.
Thank you very much. Any other thoughts?
A demonstration? What about some kind of rally?
See, the problem is that if we mention birth control, everybody thinks it's because we want to have sex all the time.
Instead of because we just want to be responsible. Hey, some guys are sensitive.
Okay, call me crazy, but I don't think any of our parents are too thrilled at the idea of us having sex, responsible or not.
And they think they're the only ones who can talk to us about it.
If only they could hear what we've been saying in the locker rooms.
That's a brilliant idea, Becky.
What is?
That's what we'll do at the rally. We'll just say what we've been saying in the locker rooms.
Well, no one's going to do it. It's going to be too embarrassing.
Why? I mean, all you have to do is say if your parents talk to you about sex. The board meets next week, so we have to have the rally the day before. And the turnout has to be great. I'll clear it with the principal. And Janet, can you get an article into the school paper?
Yeah, I think so.
And Becky, can you do a flyer? Okay, in the meantime, we'll start talking people up. Yeah. And Carl, I want guys at the speak out, especially jocks.
You mean we can get free condoms from the clinic? That's the best thing I ever heard, man. I'm gonna do it. I'll talk.
Wait a minute, you're gonna spill your guts over free condoms?
Yeah. Hey, do you know how much those things cost these days?
Yeah, well, better to spend $1 now than $100,000 raising a kid.
I got one from Mike Masterson for a quarter.
Oh, yeah? Well, you better watch out, because I bet it's been in his wallet since junior high school.
So?
So? Hey, these things don't last forever, pal. But that's okay. You can use it for practice. Hey! I'm not kidding around. Now, if you guys ask a girl, and she actually says yes to you, you gotta know what you're doing. It's no time to fumble. Get dressed.
I'm getting a lot of no's.
How come?
Well, Leah says that if she supports the clinic, then her folks will think she's sleeping around. And Gail says that if the boys can get condoms, we won't be able to say no to them.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of maybes, too. Like, if I don't have anything better to do, and, you know, if it's not raining.
Well, I hope Carl's having more luck with the boys.
Guys, about the speak out?
You mean to tell me I'm supposed to ask my date if she's on the pill? Now, that doesn't seem very polite.
I want my girl to be a virgin. Smart. You know what those STDs out there? Sexually transmitted diseases. You cannot be too careful. Especially that age to worry about, okay? Let's go play some ball, man. Come on, let's go play some ball. Yeah!
So can I count on you guys?
Are there gonna be cheerleaders there?
What is wrong with everybody? I mean, don't they know how important this is? If we don't get a crowd, we might as well not bother.
Well, I've got my speech already.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the double standard. I mean, why is it my dad goes way to go every time he thinks my brother's gonna do it, but he'd flip his lid if he thinks I'm having sex? Can I say that at the speak out? You can say anything you want if you'll just show up.
This is a man who wants to go to a speak out. It's gonna be great. Be there. Come to my wrestling team tryout. It's gonna be really good. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. It's gonna be great. I'm in the lightweight category, 100 pounds and under. Oh, got another present. Oh, gotta go. Annie. There are some people who, once you get them started, they just don't shut up. I personally don't know anybody like that.
Yeah.
But I know that there are those people who, once they get started,
It's a very important meeting Tuesday on the football field. Great work, everyone. I think we're gonna have a good turnout.
Oh, there's just one thing.
What?
How are you going to make sure that the school board hears about the speak out?
Good point. Thank you. Goodbye. Charlie Pike will definitely cover it. That's great. Are you going to tell your mom so she can be there? She's been pretty busy with the campaign. I haven't seen much of her lately. Anyway, Ron. I'm out of here. Why haven't you called me?
You said you wanted some time to think.
Well, I didn't want you to ignore me.
Look, I'm just staying out of your way, all right? Besides, you seem kind of busy. You don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, it's really simple. If you really love me, then we do it.
Even if I didn't want to?
If you really love me, you'd want to.
And if you really loved me, you wouldn't pressure me like this. You'd say it was okay to wait.
Fine. I'm not pressuring you, all right? As far as I'm concerned, you can take as long as you want. But just don't expect me to wait around forever, okay?
The one place we cannot scrimp is our teachers. I will continue to vote for pay raises for them.
I want to be sure there's not going to be a sex clinic at the high school.
It's going to be a health clinic. I know there was some mention of birth control services, but I feel very strongly that it's up to the parent, not the school, to discuss these matters with our children.
Then, Miss Kelly, how do you explain your daughter's activities?
I beg your pardon?
The speak out at the high school? She's organizing a demonstration tomorrow to show that parents aren't really talking to their kids about sex.
What do you think you're doing, organizing behind my back?
I wasn't going behind your back. I was going to tell you.
What, instead Charlie Pike told me in front of a room full of voters. It was humiliating.
Well, I'm sorry.
What do you think it looked like? Not even knowing what my own daughter was doing,
I said,
Shauna.
I'm sorry. What else can I do?
I want you to call off this ridiculous speak out.
No!
Come on, Shauna, you have to. Otherwise, all the work I've been doing will be ruined.
Well, what about the work I'm doing? I mean, you may not agree with it, but I have to do what I think is right.
Not when it jeopardizes the clinic, and that's exactly what's happening. All of a sudden, everyone's jumping on this birth control issue. It's exactly what I've been trying to avoid.
No kidding.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I just said. You don't talk about sex. You couldn't even tell me if a person can get pregnant the first time, which, by the way, you can. And then you have the nerve to go in front of everybody and say that it's the parents' responsibility. Mom, you are being so hypocritical. Why should I listen to anything you have to say?
Well, I can't handle this.
She calls you a hypocrite, and you make a beeline for the chocolate.
Chocolate.
Clear thinking.
We never had a fight like this before.
Well, take heart. It won't be your last.
Oh, thanks so much. You want some?
Mm-mm. Scary when they start declaring themselves.
Oh, I'll say. God, I raised her to be independent and outspoken. Why did she have to do it now?
Well, unfortunately, we don't get to choose when our children grow up.
I wish Jack were here.
Oh, are you kidding? His little girl, sex. If Jack were alive, he'd be ricocheting off the walls.
I suppose so. I'm not doing any better, though. She came to me to ask about sex. I practically jumped down her throat.
Once. One time.
No wonder she didn't tell me about the speak out. I wouldn't have told me about the speak out.
You know who she reminded me of when she went tearing out of here?
Who?
You at that age.
Oh, come on.
She had that same glint of self-righteousness you always had. And you turned out fine. So will Shauna. She's a great kid. She's got terrific values. And that's because of you. So relax.
I can't. We ever stop worrying about our kids?
No. Now give me the chocolate.
Allison, Shauna's coming up.
I just had the worst day of my life. Ron's gonna dump me, and I just had the biggest fight with my mom. I don't know how things got so complicated. Allison, what is that?
It's a pregnancy test. It's positive. What am I gonna do?
I don't know. But I'm here for you.
My mother left a pamphlet on my dresser. It was called Egg Sperm Physiology in the Context of a Loving Relationship. She never even asked if I read it.
Students at Francis Scott Key High School are speaking out. And what they're saying is that surprisingly few, only about 20%, have had even one meaningful conversation about sex with their parents. Student Representative Shauna Kelly hopes that the Speak Out will convince other board members, including her mother, that birth control information and contraceptives should be available on campus. Shauna, how will your mother react to the Speak Out?
Well, my mother believes in freedom of speech. Just hope she remembers that when she sees your report tonight.
Thank you, Shauna. This is Charlie Pike.
He already knows about a lot of this stuff already. I was 12 when I had the talk with my dad. I don't know what he planned to tell me. He's kind of a quiet guy. Kind of. You know, he doesn't say too much. He lets my mother handle all this stuff. I mean...
Can we talk later?
Yeah. Sure, how about tonight?
Anyway, he didn't have a choice.
Okay.
I just walked in on my parents. So he starts out with, remember how we had to artificially inseminate the tomato plant blossoms when no bees came last year? Well, that's what your mom and I were doing. Literally telling me about the birds and the bees.
Had to go to the clinic. Well, they had to take another pregnancy test, you know, to be sure. And it's definite. You tell your folks. I don't know. My mom's gonna be hysterical. My dad's just he's gonna kill me. Michael has to know. Michael. I have a date with Michael tonight. How am I supposed to go out with him? I'm pregnant. I never thought this would happen to me. You know? I was gonna be so responsible. It just doesn't seem fair. You want me to come with you when you tell your parents? Yeah.
What is it, honey? I'm right in the middle of something.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Oh, no.
What? What is it?
She's pregnant.
Michael?
Of course it's Michael. I knew he was trouble from the first time I saw him. How long has this been going on?
Hardly matters now.
Everybody's going to think I'm a terrible mother. This can't be happening.
It's happening, Sue. Pull yourself together. Ellie needs us now. So I guess this is it, huh?
Even though you still love me and I love you, and the only thing we don't agree on is sex.
Look, I know it sounds weird when you put it like that, Shauna, but I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'm not going to be happy unless we do it. And, you know, you're not going to be happy if I keep pushing you.
Well, I don't want you to be unhappy.
I don't want you to be unhappy either.
So we're breaking up so neither of us will be unhappy.
Shauna, don't confuse me right now. You really make it hard to break up with you.
I can still change your mind.
So can you.
I know.
Hey, Shauna.
Yeah?
See you around.
Okay.
I just hope she remembers that when she sees your report tonight.
Thank you, Shauna. This is Charlie Pike.
Well, I have to give you credit. I never got 3 minutes at the top of the news. I taped it for you.
Well, thank you. Why aren't you mad?
Well, I've had a chance to cool down and think it over. I haven't been upset about the speak out, you know. I've been upset because we haven't been able to talk to each other.
Mama, you've been really busy with the campaign.
No, it's my fault. It's my fault. You wanted to talk to me about sex, and I shut you out. I just, I'm sorry for that. I really am. I don't know what came over me.
Aw.
No.
Oh, come on. You never had any trouble when I was little.
Well, sure. It was easy then. When your teenage daughter starts thinking about having sex, it's tough. I never thought I'd sound like my mother. I mean, she would have said, wait till you were married.
And why didn't you say that?
Because I wanted you to make up your own mind. And because I'm not a total hypocrite.
Are you telling me you slept around?
Well, I'm not saying that. Let's just say that your father wasn't the first.
Mom.
But I was much older, and I'm glad I waited.
Why?
Sex is really powerful. When you have sex with someone, that person becomes such a big presence in your life. Everything changes. I'm just glad I had a little more life experience so that I could deal with those changes.
How do you make the guys understand?
Well, sometimes you don't. Sometimes they break up with you, and then they go looking for girls who look more promising.
I think that's what Ron's gonna do. We broke up.
I'm sorry. I know how that feels.
He got tired of me turning him down. And I don't blame him, really. I mean, he's ready and I'm not. But I don't think he'll ever be.
Oh, I think there may come a time. The important thing is that it's your decision. You won't need to say no because I want you to, or yes because he wants you to. But because you'll find someone who you trust, who cares about your needs and concerns as much as he cares about his own. I'm glad you decided to wait.
Mom, what about the kids who don't wait?
Shauna, I can't say please wait and then turn around and say, but if you decide to do it, here's everything you want to know about sex.
Mom, that is exactly what I want you to say. The kids who do choose to have sex have a right to the information and stuff they need so they don't get pregnant or STDs or worse, AIDS. Mom, Allison's pregnant.
She told her parents yet?
Yeah, it was really hard. But her dad took it really well, and her mom, well, and you can imagine.
Yes, I can.
I really miss talking to you about this stuff, Mom.
Me too. You know, honey, as you get older, there are gonna be a lot of things you aren't gonna want to tell me, and that's fine. Just remember that there's nothing you can't tell me or ask me. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
The school board votes tonight. As controversy over the high school health clinic builds, how do you think it'll go? Does the speak out make a difference?
I can only speak for myself. My vote hasn't changed.
This is Charlie Pike with a campaign profile.
Motion carried. It has been voted and approved that a health clinic be set up at Francis Scott Key High without birth control services as proposed by Mrs. Kelly. Any new business?
In an ideal world, I believe that sex education should be handled by parents. But thanks to my daughter, Shauna, and other students, I realize we're falling short in this area. I propose we take immediate measures to improve sex education at the high school level. Yeah. And while we're at it, let's start a class to teach parents how to talk to their kids about sex.
Congratulations, Mom. That was a pretty good compromise.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. You started people talking about a very sensitive issue.
Mom, did you blow your own election?
Frankly, my dear, the campaign was getting a little dull.
Could I have a statement, please, Miss Kelly?
Yes.
Tomorrow, Full House becomes fuller when Stephanie drives a car through the kitchen wall. Then, Laura's the price Eddie must pay to rid a debt to Urkel on Family Matters after Larry and Balky capture a killer on Perfect Strangers.